Alright, welcome to the new diamond show. I'm just coming right in. Here. New camera system. We are using now the Blackmagic 6K Pro camera. So we will be able to go much higher quality overall. I mean, we have to test it out, but welcome everyone for today's show. We said we were going to sum up the tarot cards, and that's what we're going to do today. So let's get started. August 30th, Labor Day is coming soon. Let's start with this a little bit scarier card I mentioned last time. These the Harmonic Tarot orders. Let's have a little fun today. Today will be the last day of the tarot for now, and then we'll bring in more stuff to welcome the Luke David show. It's almost now midnight. Yeah, no, actually it's over midnight now. Yeah. At least an hour, don't worry. Try to do at least an hour. Alright. So today again, let's get the cards in the mood. Now we'll ask something like this simpler, right? We asked very, very hard questions before in the show. Let's try to ask something simpler. What about like most of us know, right? Of course, what is good for our health and things like that. The basic conscious level most people have now. But let's see, what does it want to say about health, right? What's the things we can really, really do to make our health like very like optimal, premium health, you know, just beautiful, like just amazing health all around, right? Like I said, we know basic things, but let's see what cards have to say. That's the idea today, right? What does the card want to say? What do they want to say today? Right? About health, mental health, physical health, spiritual health. They're a little bit sleepy right now. So I was 12:30 at night. But we will see how far we go today. Get ready, come on, wake up cards. wake up. Alright, it's starting to move a little bit. Okay, well, as much as they can move, right? Let's do that. Alright, another Celtic cross time today. Let's see if they want one card, two cards, all cards. What did they say? We are going to make a nice patch today. Today we'll do a full cross, like somebody standing, open arms, full cross. Can we do put all this stuff here? We use it. Alright. Well, whole different day, but let's see. Today, what kind of card they're bringing today? They're so sleepy right now. So if it goes wrong today, it's okay. They're a little sleepy, right? The cards. So we'll lay it down. But we're going to do the show anyways. As I said, I will bring the last tarot show and then go into numerology. Okay, so as we will talk about this, we're going to also talk about a little bit about numerology in a minute. So numbers, like they do add up. So numbers are important, you know. Like I mentioned, 0 to 9. Then after that, really there are no numbers. Repetition, computer 0101 parity. So now the rest I mentioned 11, 22, 9, 3. But that's where it ends. I mean, those are the only important ones there. But people are born, the energy, vibration, all that stuff. But okay, so let's get into this now. So for a health card today, let's see what does it want me to do. Health. That's for your health. Now keep in mind, it could now, I'm sensing it. So it could be either a negative answer or positive, but either way it helps us, right? We're getting an answer. So either it's going to be positive or negative. The card's already told me that. So it could come like a total flip on the left side or the right, whatever. So let's see. Some fun. Let's see what are they trying to say now. Like I said, they're a little sleepy, but they're awake. They're always awake. Tarot cards are always awake. We're sleepy, then they're sleepy, then we both are sleepy, and then nobody's sleepy. Okay, so again we have to bring in the other glasses. Close up, see. Okay, here we go. The Chariot, Lord of the Trump of Light. Triumph of light, right? So light. Triumph of light. Now I can look at it two ways. I can see triumph of light or health or white light, but you can also look at it as wars and stuff we were talking about. Lord of the triumph. But also spiritually, Lord of the triumph of light, meaning the Lord, meaning omnipresence brings us good health, good wishes. So you can definitely get those three answers from this one. Okay. That's actually pretty important, right? So that's a good card. All right, let's try some more. See what it else wants us to do. It will tell us either it wants us to pick any more or pick only few or pick all of them. We will hear from the card. They are the guide to these little answers, and then they get perfect close answers. Okay. Let's see. What is it? Okay, stop letting go about this one. Okay. This will be my eyes been going on it before, but it's okay. So let's see what this card is now. Okay. Like I said, negative, positive may come. Lord of the Gates of Banner. Now this is showing the Devil card. It's called anyway, the Devil card. So see, this is interesting. Like I said, I already said before the opening the cards, we may get a very negative and a very positive. But that's okay. That opens the door to more possibilities of, what's good and bad for health. Like that's still a health advice, like in general, right? With the cards, it's playing around, having fun, but these are real answers. Like they try to tell you, with the devil side, Lord of the Gates of Matter, the things that matter, you gotta watch out for the devil, and then triumph of the light, is the good stuff. So that's interesting though. See, it's giving us a pretty good negative, positive card now, straight up. So, okay, so now we'll check which ones are. Today we have quite a bit of time. We can play around nice. Okay, and hope everybody's doing well. Blessings for everyone. So now we check this. What does it want us to do? What is it want us to do? Nothing right now. Something now it could also say only pick two cards. In this case, we got the negative positive, right? It's not all the information about our health concerns, but it's talking about light, darkness, and devil, and omni. So it's kind of like giving us the left and right? The negative, positive there. To how to take care of health and what things not to do. So this is a very good advice, right, in general. But we want more. Let's see. It says, okay, you want more, then maybe I'll give you more, but we'll see. All right. So this one. Four of Pentacles, Lord of earthy power. So that's like air, water, fire, Lord of earthy powers. There's power in the earth, right? In the universe, and also earth has a lot of energy, different power through air, fire, earth, the water. So that's the four elements. So that is what it's saying. That if we truly focus on those four elements in a positive way, that could bring a lot of peace of mind, understanding about earth around us, that we are with the earth here. We are here, the earth is here, the earth is looking at us, we're looking at the earth, we are connecting. So definitely good card. Like I said, it depends on the question. Because the cards know. See, you ask health questions, it's going to chill out now. It's going to relax, relaxing me. We relax very much now. It's like slow down. It's relaxed. It's a simple questions, right? Then when you get intense, then it will get intense with you, right? But right now it's okay. All right, let's see if there's any more health questions answered, I guess. So, let me see. Here. Okay, I think this one. Because getting a little late right now, so I'm getting a little sleepy, but not for the show. But I mean, they're relaxed to relax. They want to sleep. Maybe like this is their sleeping time, probably, right? They're taking their time. I'm just relaxing with them a little. Here you go. Ace of Pentacles, Lord of the root of powers of the earth. Now look at the interesting, eh? We got Lord of the earthly power, and now same repeating again, Lord of the root of the powers of the earth. Flowers and all this nice stuff. So that's very interesting how it's matching up to the story, at least, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We'll do a few more. Let's have fun anyway. But I mean, it doesn't matter which one you pick, but right now, because they're already on the table, right? They've been shuffled and they're there to create some symmetry in the answers, right? Questions, answers. Okay. So now what do they want? Okay, well, they're saying flip all four. Okay, well, flip all four. That's a little jump, but it's okay. Let's flip all four. Let's get the mysteries up. Okay. 7 of Cups. 7 is spiritual number. Lord of illusionary success. See? This is sort of like a health, mental health, right? Illusion of success. Like real success or just illusion, right? So that's important. 7 is a spiritual number. 7 is peaceful, it's good. And the 7 cups, is coming like. So that's a good part of health. And then it says Lord of the blended pleasure. Now that's connected to illusionary success and is also connected to health. See? Lord of blended pleasure. To have good health, you also have to, I guess, like have a good time, eat nice food, eat nice things, feel good, go out, do nice stuff. So that's kind of part of what's saying, Lord of blended pleasure. Only the cards talk mostly, I talk when I do, but write those cards I can mostly do. Interpreting more. So Lord of blended pleasure. Nice. So blended pleasure. Meaning sometimes you have to mix pleasures, not just like only one thing. I can like different variety of things, right? To have a nice spectrum. We talked about the energy, the colors. So bring it to nice vegetables and healthy fruits and all that kind of stuff, right? Or food, diet, whatever. Or different activities people do outside the house. So now that one, those two we got mashed up, okay? Now the magic, the Magus of power. See, health needs power. Without power, there's no health, meaning energy. You need energy, right? Health needs energy. If there's no energy in the body, a person feels weak, right? So energy, so okay. The Magus, not magic, but the Magus of power. See? Okay, so this is interesting. The magician, yeah, I did mention the magician, yeah. Magic and health and stuff like that. The magus of power. Okay. There's a couple more here. The wheel of fortune. So if we get fortune, not necessarily money again, like I said before, but fortune, to Lord of the forces of life. See? Health, life. It's all connected to the health facility here. Health story. And then two more here. Okay. Two of Swords. Lord of Peace restored. See? We need peace. No war. Two swords. We talked about before that, war, fighting two people, right? Peace, Lord of Peace restored. That's beautiful. And that also contributes to good health. Because like I said, even if some people out there don't care at all, but they need to realize that we are connected. So when bad things are happening out there to people, innocent people on all sides, in war there's no there's always innocent people getting hurt, right? So we have to, you're going to feel it somehow. It will come to you, So that's what it's saying, like peace restored, that you'll feel the peace when things are better. And if things are not good out there, then it kind of bothers us, lingers in the mind here and there, Not full at ease, right? Not fully peaceful, anyways. So, and most people who are already conscious would know that anyways. So that's what I was trying to say. Okay, so now let's see what's happening here now. All right, so Nine of Cups, Lord of Material Happiness. See, the cards are waking up slowly, but they are up. I told you they're always up. See, Lord of Material Happiness. Happiness is part of health. Materialistic people or materialistic things or fake things can affect health. So it's all there. Lord of Material Health. So said the Lord of illusionary success, Lord of blended pleasure, Lord of material happiness, Lord of the gates, the devil one, Lord of the trump of light, like Omni, Lord of the peace restored, Lord of the root of the power of earth, Lord of earthly power, the magic, magus of power, the magician, the wheel of fortune, Lord of the forces of life. Very interesting. So meaning all encompassing, everything is coming together again tonight. All coming together. Now there's many meanings. We can get into this for hours, right? Like this, not just what I just said. I mean, that's just a crucial meanings, just to cut it short for the show. But we can get into it in depth, how it affects our emotions, again, like I mentioned, the feelings, the energy, the personality, the events that will take course after we feel all these things, all that kind of stuff, the futuristic thought. All right. So now I think this card, we can play with them a lot, but we'll keep them. Like they're going to come back, right? They are going to come back again. They do very wonderful things. These ones, right? Like hard question. This time we kept it a little soft, so they're very happy. They're very pleased with me. They're like, you know what? Look, you're not giving us hard time for today. Today you're giving us, the spirits are like relaxed. Okay, you ask simple questions and then we play around a little bit. So that's good. That's good. Now, like I said, these cards are very nice. So they will come back. So we will bring them back. We will leave that card out here actually, because this one is the one. Well, the Nefertiti one, amazing too, of course. This and that one, these two we gotta have around, for other sessions here and there, like discussing something else and then throw the cards in to get an answer and they kind of mix in the conversation, right? Debating that way. Be interesting. So you're going to go back to this one. This is a very nice one. This is one of my favorite original cards. Yeah, okay. These are the very, very, very amazing. So the Hermetic Order, those energy cards we talked about, they were beautiful from that crystal oracle stuff, and then the other cards from the Nefertiti one. Oh, they just open your mind. You just can't imagine how much. just spending time with the cards, right? So that's another way to tune yourself. Like if somebody's having difficulty saying, look, okay, I like your show, I'm listening, but I'm having difficulty, I can't understand certain things or do certain things yet. And let's say, they say, okay, maybe I'm going to try card. Luke was talking about tarots too. They say, okay, I try tarot. Oh, that works, it connects with me. Okay, fine. If that's how you tune your brain, expand it, then that's okay. Like I said, different tools, not specific to everyone. Uniqueness of all of us. So, but today we're going to spend a lot of time with this one because even though the Hermit and other cards are amazing, and the Nefertiti ones are so amazing. I mean, I love them all, but those three are the head ones. But this and the Oracle card, those energy cards we talked about. There was other ones too we talked about, right? But this one is just, I don't know, the way it's designed, right? It just tunes into you so quickly. Like these penetrate much faster. And with these ones, we can travel further in a short time. Now, we're talking about speed, we talked only slow down, right? But no. Sometimes speed is required in this situation context. So if we penetrate a little bit faster, a little bit, 2, 3, 5 times, 7 times speed than the other ones, then they give us amazing answers too. Like, there's not a comparison. But these ones are, like you can spend a time like an hour and ask multiple questions and just go into like more and more deeper with the pictures. So they do give you a nice, easy way to work with. Like I said, you can penetrate quicker and further. With the other ones, you have to really be in the mood and tune your mind. Cards have to be in the mood, and then as you've seen so far, they have all been amazing, especially the Habit order, and then definitely cards, amazing. No doubt, not comparing with this at all. No, this is just like your go-to cards, right? These are the easy ones. You can deal with them every day, have a show about it every day, like that kind of a thing. These are your go-to cards. They'll keep things in order, they'll be balanced, Not too easy, not too hard, just kind of, they blend into you, they become part of you. These ones, I think. Anyways, so let's see what they have to. We have already made so many compliments about them today. Let's see what wonders they want to play today. Something interesting I want to bring up. Okay, let's ask another interesting question. Yeah, we have to ask this question because again, most people don't ask this question. But from the cards. Okay, so when the people get, like let's say to go to, let's talk on Ontario here, Canada, like people go to Ontario Court of Justice, let's say there's a case, there's a lawyer, there's a prosecutor, normal stuff, right? There's a case. Now, case can be about anything, I'm not discussing a case. But what I'm saying, like when they go to court, you have to present the defense side, you have to present the prosecutor side, you have to have the debates, and then you have to convince they have to convince each other, the defense and the prosecutor first, to make some sense out of the story. Like one person cannot go totally off because then it unbalances the whole court system, and the judge won't be so happy, right? So you have to present things in a respectful way, of course, but you have to present it in a way that is easier for the judge to at least understand the dynamics of it. Right? You don't want the judge to say, I need 4 more trials and sessions for this. Like you want to keep it simple, right? Like I'm not talking about code, I'm just trying to get back to the card about it. So I want to ask the cards that when you go to a court hearing, whether it's hearing for you or for somebody else, or it's about money or something a little more serious or with the law or whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is, you go into court for something, right? For something. So I just want to know, this is a very interesting question, I think. A lot of people, things happen out there, and also at the same time, it's a very unique question, I think. Because I don't think most people would dare to even ask such a question from the cards. Because what answers we get with something like this, we have no idea, right? So let's see, for fun, for now. Let's see what kind of an answer would they like to give us. And will we accept the answer, right? That's a different story, but it is a tough question, very tough question. So we want to know, when you go to Ontario Court of Justice for a case, whether you're the defense or the prosecutor or whatever the case is, it doesn't matter, civil matter or whatever, criminal matter, whatever the matter is, you're in a court of law, right? Like in the Supreme Court, Ontario Court, whatever, court justice. So when you go there, just to see, like what kind of tools, like if you're going into a different conversation now, like what kind of tools you can bring, except what I just mentioned, that will help the judge who's sitting there, right, to not only make a great decision on the case, no matter what the case is, but in general, or with jury involved or just the judge, whatever the verdict, but also for jury in general, mostly judge. But then what kind of like it will make things very, like I said before, easier for the judge to get insight into the case more than the defense and the prosecutor. Now that's part of the job for the judge anyways, but I'm just saying that what can a person do? Just a question we're asking, right? It's all hypothetical right now, this one. Because about the law, the court, hypothetical. So we just want to know that what attributes or tools or things we can have before we prepare to go. Like a lawyer will tell you, prepare this, prepare the documents and all that stuff, yeah. But what does the card take about this? That's what I'm curious about, right? Let's see, what does the card have to say? Might be saying something totally the opposite of things we're talking about, or we common sense know. So let's see. I think that's pretty much the biggest question we've asked so far, and everything else so far, right? Just ask about just about everything already. So we'll see how this one goes, but okay. So they're getting fired up now. Okay. Oh, the book is in there, sorry. Let's get the book out. Let me give you an answer. Something, give something. All right, let's get really in tune with that, because this one you want to really interesting, very interesting answer, I hope. One of the most interesting, I really, really hope. Because this is something we don't know, right? The lawyers know stuff, prosecutors know stuff, defense lawyers know stuff, judges know stuff. Like a lot of people know things when they get in that kind of a profession. But what they think the cards say, that's a whole different dimension of situations, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, we're getting there. Oh, wow. Actually, I found one more incorrect card. That's good. Perfect. That's good. Okay. Well, just going to take a chance for that for now. I could be wrong, but again, usually we are right. The card are working or sleeping. So this time I think they wanted us to pick that one off, which was this normal picture card, like not a card on the deck, and then get the one you got the head already here. I think it wants us to talk to these ones and get some unique insight into the questions for the day. Okay. But don't forget the type of question asked, the type of question cards come out, and the type of energy gets on this table we are sitting right now. Right, so this one actually I'm going to move them up here. Move them up there, like that. There. Okay. Yeah, that looks good, I think. Just a little bit higher here. Higher. Okay. I think it's pretty much it. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, it's pretty good spectrum there. Alright, so now again, all answers could be there, or one answer could be there, but again, we're going to start with 1, 2 cards or whatever, see what happens. Tough question, so let's see what kind of an answer could even be out there, right? So what we're trying to really ask is The point of the question is that we're trying to ask this question specifically because we want the judge and the jury, of course, to do the best job at the time of the case, whatever the case may be. But also, what else can the defense or prosecutor could bring in, and what else the judge could get, maybe more information, like all parties involved, what more can be inputted in each case, other than what we already know, common sense things. What else can be brought in, like something spectacular or something amazing that can just unravel the case so beautifully that like a good solution for all sides, like that kind of a thing, like a beautiful decision that works for everyone. Judge is happy, defense is happy. You know what I mean? You see where I'm going down with this spiritually? Prosecutor is happy. The public there watching the show is happy. Watching the court hearing, everybody's happy, Of course, not the one who's typing. That's a hard job, I get it, but they probably get paid good, I guess, hopefully. But yeah. But anyway, well, they could smile too. They like the case too. They like the conclusion. They'll be smiling too, right? Typing and smiling. Why not? Everybody's there, right? So it's like everybody's there at the time. So anyways, so let's see. The cards are getting in tune now. All right. Let's see. This is such an interesting question. Such an interesting question. Unique. I don't even know if anybody ever asked this question, but I guess. All right. A little bit hard, so this is a hard question. So I have to really use my hand scanners now. Okay. Actually, he's pointing at two cards, but that's okay. Let's see, what is this? Who is this? Okay. Princess of Wands. Okay, so this one shows moon, sun. This I don't know. How will this connect to this one? This one is tricky, but for now. But let's see. Let's see. The second one is trying to reach to maybe make more sense of it. The Princess of Wands, like ward is like you are like making a wish. The case goes good or everybody's happy, like that kind of thing we're talking about. But let's see. What they see, regret. This is interesting. 5 of Cups, regret. So we will figure it out, don't worry. Even if it's tough, even if it's a tough question, and let's say in this issue I can already feel it, let's say you're only getting, like all of the rest ones were great, but let's say you're only getting 20% of the answer we're trying to get, right? It's really tough, like you're not getting 80%, right? So I can explain the rest 20. If it's only 20%, it's okay. But then it will make us use our own mind to think further, right? That's okay. So we got 2 here. This case, I think, okay, we'll do one more card and then we might flip them all because I'll explain in a second. If the question becomes too difficult to answer, then the card's energy goes away, sort of, right? Like that's what's happening in this situation. The situation is so tough The card is saying, how do I truly answer that? It's a very like a tough question, right? Like a left and right, like you're thinking like right and wrong and all that kind of stuff. So, now because it's about a court, so it looks like it's telling us there's no, the energy I'm getting now is telling me that, because you're talking to the cards as we talk to the audience, right? It's telling me that there is no right or wrong answer. Meaning, the judge is the one making decision anyways, right? So you have to respect that and go with that. So maybe again, see, they surprise us, the cards. Sometimes they're really smart and intelligent, and they say, look, there is no real straight answer here, right? So this is the thing. But anyway, let's play around. Let's get some cards going and see what is hidden into these cards. Like if it even doesn't have more than 20% of the answer, but right, so you can still kind of figure it out. You do this one, and then this was the toughest one, even for me. So I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to explain a little bit numerology, get into that a little bit today. And this show will be uploaded not immediately like the other ones, almost one a day right now, almost. But we gotta, like, this is a professional camera, so we gotta get it in the computer and then get it from there, editing, whatever. Not editing, but I mean, make sure that the volume is okay and all the sound and stuff, whatever it is. Maybe put a show title too now. I was going to think of that, eh? Yeah, add a show title from now, and that'd be nice. That'd be nice. With some music, and then the show starts, right? I already had it done many years ago for the book, so we'll bring that in probably. But okay. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's see what it knows and what it doesn't know, right? All right, let's see. Okay. Now you can say in a way, like when this is going on, I'll bring them as I'll bring them all together as a full theme, right? So it'll be interesting, like full theme here. Yeah, full theme here like that. Yeah. Now you see all this? Okay. So now I will mention some few things fast because of what's going on here, right? So did we say number 11 is the most powerful? Yes, it is. Judge is the most powerful person in the room. There you go, there's meaning there. We got the regret card, meaning if you lie in the court, you can regret. There you go, makes sense. So what not to do? See, the cards may not tell you only what to do, but they can also tell you, like a judge, like a prosecutor, like a defense lawyer, what not to do, right? So sometimes they reverse the answer to give the answer. So that's not too bad. Hard question, so I won't expect too much anyway with this. Okay, so now again see regret and there's sorrow. Three of Swords, like something to do with somebody did something bad or something like that. Pictures, not just pictures, but see person sitting in jail with 3 swords with blood showing on it. Now what is this? House of God. See, the judge is not of course God, but is it like a house of God? Sometimes they refer to that, right? Like a court of justice, like a judge, the executioner, they call it, right? Like a context, The house of God is like that, The court for justice and all that, Couple more interesting cards for sure. Queen of Swords. This is Kali. So in this context only, it could be referring to darkness and negative effects, meaning like a court decision not going in your favor or whatever is going on. That's the negative side of the court, because, like I said, hopefully we are wishing that they make a decision that everybody's happy, but it doesn't happen every time. So it's also warning us in the cards that one person loses and one wins, and that kind of a situation, right? Doesn't matter what the event was about or the case, but just in general, right? Keep it light about that. But anyways, so now the other one here, 7 of Wands. 7 is spiritual challenge. Court is a challenge place. It's to challenge your debates, right? Your points. That's good. Keep the balance. So that's that one there. Like I said, this is very vague answers this is giving us this time. I can feel that, but again, it's because of the question. It has many answers to that question, I guess, according to the cards. Right? There's a couple more here, see, okay. So, 10 of Swords. See, ruin. A court decision can ruin somebody's life too, I guess, right? Yeah. So, ruin. Being punished, see. So, that's the thing. Ruining something. 21 number, sorry. 21 number 3. A very magical number. The world. The justice of court is all over the world, right? The world, meaning it affects the world when a decision will be made. I guess spiritually, if you think about it, a court decision does affect the whole planet because that sets the precedent for the next court cases to study for the lawyers and people in practice or all that kind of stuff, right? So it does set up a trend or an archive of cases, so it becomes part of a culture thing, right? Okay, well, this court case was like that, and what did the judge do, and now what do we do, and all that, right? Investigations. So that is the world affecting 3. 3 is magical number there. The rule was there. See, in court, there's lots of opposition. Here you go, opposition. Interesting. 7 of Swords. Okay, opposition, definitely. And one more here. Virginal. So, Queen of Cups. Now, this card will be very simple to understand. What I think, this is just now it's my interpretation, part of this, but part of now me alone saying this, right? So, what it is, we got the number 11, the most powerful, all that stuff. Yeah, okay. So, now the thing is that this, how I'm seeing this one, is saying that you don't need any of these cards. You just need this. You know why? Because see, this is not what I was expecting. I mean, it's a common sense answer, but we weren't expecting that, right? We were thinking about all the other different things. What could it be? Curious about it? No. This is saying it's like a heart shape. See, Queen of Cups, very original, heart shape, and it's saying basically the heart shape, the love, thing. So it's basically saying if you have love in your heart, and if you feel the love, or you want to feel the love. So in that case, you may not have to go to court, meaning like you may not get in a situation or a situation like meaning for money or whatever reason, that you don't have to go to court, settle outside of court, I guess. Sometimes the lawyers do that and people do that, right? Different things happen, like millions of different situations, of course. So it's saying that a love matter in a loving way, in a peaceful way. Sometimes you can save court's time and settle things outside and not have to deal with any of this. Now, I'll be honest, I always thought that in my life since a kid, what about outside court? What happens in court? I understand, right? Most people do. But what happens outside the court? Sometimes there are deals done between lawyers and there are confidentiality and this and that. And there's lots more to it. I know we can get into that. So this is also telling us that, that it did mention the court system. It wasn't so clear. It was vague, yes. But it's telling us, it didn't help us make the right decision for the judge. Like we tried to, maybe the question wasn't 100% right, but it didn't do that way. But it said, okay, this is what happens in the court, right? There's sorrow, regret, punishment. So it's very interesting. They did pick up the answer. But I think what it was to tell us that the question, like this is the point I'm making now. So now we're going to go deep. So the thing is that sometimes, now this is the real time that you should talk about. Sometimes what happens, you're asking a question, right? Now this is where we're going to get real deep here with my book and all my information, some knowledge here. So now you're asking a question A here, right? And there's an answer B here. And then the cards come in the middle, right? So the cards say, okay, You'll get your answer, but it did pretty much. It tried pretty nice for such a tough question. But it's saying, no, I'm going to give you a different answer to the question you're asking, but actually I'm going to change your question and I'm going to turn your question into an answer. Now, how does that make any sense? Well, it does. Because like I said, well, okay, I said that, to make, like, what would the cards tell us? That it will help the judge in the court to make a best decision fair for everyone. Well, that's what we asked, right? Or I asked, to the cards. Me and the card were talking. Audience is just there to listen. But now I realized the question, right? So now I'm getting deep with it. So basically the question wasn't wrong, but maybe it was not constructed perfectly. That happens. It's a normal, that natural thing. But so I think the cards are saying that if you want the fairness, because court, one wins, one loses, generally speaking, right? That's the process, defense and prosecution, right? But it's saying that if you have love in your heart, which is interesting, because I did think about that, like I said, as a kid, always used to think that there must be some other solutions. People don't have to go to court, spend so much money and take court's time. They can be dealing with other more important, bigger matters, right? Not everyday little things, whatever is what we're talking about, kind of like little stuff that can be quickly resolved or with two parties. So this is telling us that if you want fairness, we said to judge, but it's saying that you can get fairness if you have love in your heart, which means that love is on the heart. So we're saying that you cannot put all of this on the judge. The judge is the final sayer, right? But you don't put all on the judge. The cards are saying that if you bring in some love, like into the court or into the situation, conflict, and if you settle it outside court, maybe it's what's trying to tell us, right? So outside the court, because telling us in the court is just sorrow, punishment and stuff, and that's true. That's the basic rule, that's the basic atmosphere of the court. But it's saying if you have love in your heart, you can solve a lot of these problems outside the court, which is legal and is allowed between a certain consents between parties, A and B. So, again, right, so I think that the card is leading us to something that I always thought my whole life anyways. Then why can't people settle their matters or most matters or small matters outside of court and not spend so much money and try to really resolve it, not always try to win the case and you lose and I win. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not spiritual. The court thing is a different system. I'm not talking about the system. We're talking outside the court. The cards are talking about outside the court. First, they told us all about the courts. What happens in there, we get it. It's pretty scary stuff sometimes. But they're saying outside the court. So it's saying the question is okay. You can bring love into the court. So the judge will say, you know what? I can make a fair decision. Why can he lose now? He or she? Because now the judge can it's coming to me now. Now the question is expanding. So the judge can make a fair decision because judge will say that the defense and prosecutor, both sides, have love in their heart. Let's put it that way. They're not trying to win this case. They're trying to solve this case. You see? So it's not about, that's what the card is telling us. It's not about winning the case. It's about solving a problem in society or whatever may not happen next time to somebody else. Solve the root cause of the problem, the source, or it will keep coming to court forever, right? So I think we got pretty amazing in a long discussion now. We've opened it up, right? So I think that went very nice. That went very, very nice. Okay, we'll play another game with this one. We'll try something else to see. But the questions have to be amazing. Like, seriously, like the ones I'm trying to ask, right? Such a fascinating questions, Can't like that. I like it, and I'm sure the audience will like it. So yeah, nobody ever asked that. Ask the question. We can answer, Alright, so we did get a very beautiful answer. Very nice answer. Very nice answer. That gives me peace of mind. If that comes into effect. We know the word, but so now we've talked about health and wars and other things. So what about, let's ask you a tough one. This is going to be another very tough question. So that's what I like, I guess, tough questions. Okay, so now we're talking about Ontario, Canada, just in general, like all over the world, there's the government, right? Every country has a government, provinces and all that stuff, states. So, okay, that's just all because people wonder about this a lot too, right? That's the reason. It's not just for me, like I know a lot of people wonder about it. So let's really ask the card, how can governments, any kind of government, like a government meaning like government of a country, right? Not Canada, anywhere. How can governments improve? Now can question matters because that's the answer comes with. How can governments or any government improve its communication to the masses of people, right? That will be interesting, right? Masses of people. And how can they reduce the cost? Now, this is something a lot of people will, I think, kind of agree on. Reduce the cost of all the fines that are out there. Now, a lot of people don't like to hear that, right? Too many fines out there to the point of a cost that people don't even have that kind of money to pay the fine, right? So I won't get into the depth of that, but my point is that how can the government communicate with the masses? Better communication, less fines. So I mean, if there's more communication and there's a better understanding between the government's role, the services giving, and service we're receiving. So, and we are a society as a whole, so we do have to kind of agree with all that. So if we do agree with it, or if we don't agree with it, or if we want to amend some laws, whatever. So then in that situation, I'm saying, like, what's the best way? So does it help that the lawmakers can, make better laws, I guess, with less fines? But I guess my point is that if the planet gets more efficient with energy and power sources, electricity, solar panel, all this stuff, we get more efficient, lower people's cost. Nobody will disagree with that, right? So lower people cost, give more money back to the people. Because then the people spend that money, which is again common sense, spend the money back in the economy, and all the businesses grow because we have more money to spend back to the businesses. And the businesses can expand and we can have more money to spend. So I guess in a way I'm saying that I'm actually answering this, but let's see what the cards have to say, right? But I'm just trying to say that government should be limited, the government power should be limited. Of course, we need to have some entity to do the work, service, but the power should be limited and make people self-efficient, so there won't be need of so many fines and so many regulations and bylaws, and that most people can be educated enough and efficient enough that they can make a lot of amendments on their own without getting into the conflicts with the government, municipalities, mayors, and all that kind of stuff. So maybe make things more streamlined, right, for all of us in a futuristic way. Like we are going into the future, 2025. It shouldn't be like 100 years ago the way things are, right? It's got to be more smooth, more faster processing, and more common sense. There's no need to keep charging people more and more fines if the fees are too high and people can't pay anyways, right? So that I'm just saying, not in Canada, it's everywhere, but I'm just saying, like, we need a system where the fines are very small, right? And they are there, sure, to stop from people doing certain things. I completely get that, but they have to be reasonable. The amount has to be very little impact to a person's pocket, right? Because even if somebody makes a mistake, they pay a fine. Okay, I get that concept. But the question is that why does somebody, let's say, is paying a $50 fine, let's have a discussion a little bit. And now the same person is paying $200 fine, or $500 fine, or $1,000 fine, or $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000. There are fines like that. So, they have to be, like, it has to make sense that a normal person could pay that. Not over the years, but from the next paycheck. That's my point. Like, the lawmakers should not make fines that are unreasonable. They don't make sense. They don't have no practicality, and then the government is, charging you more money, right? So my point was the government should try to have other ways to make more money. That's what I'm saying. If it's transparent with the communication with the masses, then government and masses of people, which is again one entity in a way, because government give us service and we need service, right? We are here, that's why the government. If there are no people, there's no government because there's nothing to govern, right? No service to give. So service has to be given, but you gotta make sure that the service is going to be reasonable cost and streamline everything and transparent so people come together. Communities, cultures, religions, people come together with the government and as work as a oneness of things. There shouldn't be conflicts anymore in the world. It shouldn't be like, the government is this and this and that. Like, this shouldn't be happening. The government is technically, it was created as a service agency. So it should just, the government should be small. Let people run the show. Let them become more educated and aware of doing proper things. Let them run the show, because if we don't do it that way, we can see into today's world, it's such a waste of time. Like, we're not going to go to space or Mars or all that's not going to truly happen if we keep having problems on Earth. What are we going to be going to another planet for what? But think about it, because there's too many problems. So fix the problems here. It's not working out with too many heavy fines. And that's all I have to say on that. I guess that's pretty much it, right? But let's finish up here today's show. We were going to get into numerology, but that's okay because we're getting into okay, so I'll do this one for you now. One more shot here. One more deck, shuffle decking. Shuffle deck. I'll check again how much time left. And then we'll come back quickly. Only be a second. See how much can we record more. Or... Okay, well. Interesting. Well, okay. Well, we got 20 more minutes. That's perfect. That will be enough. Well, we don't need that long, but that will be enough for this question. And then one more. We'll leave numerology fresh for next time, because we got pretty much into the other discussions and we got into a little bit of this and that, right? All kinds of world issues that people talk about. But let's do this. What does the card think about all these fines and the government and people being as a oneness, as we are the same people, right? Like people are the service people, citizens, and then they go work for the government. We're all same. Like there's no duality here, right? Or plural. Like it's just oneness, and it should be that way. I know it's not that way, but it's gotta be that way, or we won't be going into the future much, right? Just keep having issues here, conflicts, arguments, court cases, fines, people suing each other, all this stuff like I mentioned, right? It's just a waste. I think it's just a waste of time, all this. So too much distraction from real life, spiritual life, peaceful life. There's too much distraction from all this. So that's all I have to say about that topic. And usually, as you can see in the show, I just mention something once and then I move on. I don't come back to it because I say enough that my heart feels, and people feel that, of course, in today's world. And then I let it be, and then I just go forward to the next thing. Or if I have a positive answer, constructive something to say, like I was saying, then I'll say it, right? No problem. But again, we were talking about Canada. We're just talking in general, right? It could be anywhere. In general, like every government has different laws in countries, but just in general, the consensus should be like what we were saying. All right, what does the card think about that? Can the government get better? Can the government get more involved with people in a transparent, in a way that it's healthy, for both sides? Is there a way here? Apart from everything I already said, I guess. But let's see what cards do here. All right. jumps out, we have to see. Whatever it is. Ace of Wands. See, it knows what we're trying to do. Showing a dinosaur and a girl standing there. And the card is called power. So what does that mean? Well, government has power. People have power. So that makes sense. Now in this case, see, if we talk about what we talk about, you can think about it like that. The dinosaur is like the government, let's say in a way. It's got a long, long neck, just for a joke. And it can reach to the girl and talk to the girl. I think it's upset a little bit. Like it's fuming a little bit, but and the girl is arguing back or singing back or whatever. So this is interesting, very interesting card came out. This is jumped out, I think, because the card are saying, I understand your concerns, and here's a card. I know what you're talking about. Like we know that, the cards know that, but card is telling us, I know. I do know. Let's see. Okay. The point of this whole government thing was also that there should be no politics. Doesn't serve anybody any purpose. A waste of time. We all want the same things. We all want to be happy and peaceful and rich and happy, whatever. So then everybody should be on the same page to make that agenda happen, right? There should be different sides, right? There should be different sides. How can there be? So that's where the politics come in, right? Politics makes all these sides, all these confusions and distractions. Oh, cards are not happy. Here's the answer. Oh boy. See, they always win over me. So I don't have enough knowledge more than them. Look what they're saying now. That's the government's job. Protection. Protection, right? And in today's world, everybody is complaining about protection. Right? Break into homes, people, unidentified people coming on the borders, countries, protests, tier 2 policing, all this stuff, like just mentioning like what's out there happening, right? Protests and stuff. So this is the answer. Protection is the answer. So power and protection. Wow. Today is giving us jumpy answers, jumping out, not giving us full answer, but very interesting. Telling us what government job is. Protection, service, protection. Keeping the peace, keeping things good. Providing full service, I guess. And the audience will notice that I try to talk in a way that I'm saying something new. Like, I don't want to repeat what has been said by a lot of other people, right? Like, wouldn't make sense. And why would you want to watch something like that anyways, right? Like, there's a lot of shows out there already to watch that, right? We consume that all the time. So I want to talk about some unique stuff, some things have not been discussed in the way I'm talking or, topics. Okay. All right. Let's do the last one here. Today is not the good Buddha cards. Giving answers without answers. Okay, well, let's see. Yeah, today doesn't want me to put the deck on the. Okay, well, let's see. And a great answer. When the government and people become one, what happens? We make great alliances. Card says alliance. Here we go. See, simple answer, but it's nice, interesting. Two of Wands, and here you go. Another one, I think. See, 4 of Swords, 6, seclusion. right? We don't want that. So that's good. That's good. Meaning if things don't work out, it could be seclusion, I guess, is saying. Right? Yeah. And now it's giving us few more cards. That's okay. In this case, we'll play this with the game. We'll let it give us some answers, right? Here you go. And we'll finish the show today. It's giving us what we need. Okay. So I'll end the show with this now in a minute. Explain this, interesting answers. Hell. Okay. If the government and people are not on the same page, what happened to societies out there? Turns to hell, chaos, right? Right? Common sense. No matter where you are, who you are. Common sense. So all the cards are giving answers today. Very nice. Disillusion. See, if there's no communication, things become disillusioned again. See? He's showing like something to connect the hands, and is showing like the sun connecting. Two people connected, the government and the people. See, connecting. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. And this is a nice card. Charity. Government can be involved in charity. Like people do charity shows, I understand, but government can be involved in it and kind of, like I said, work together, everybody, right? Charity shows. And the big point in the end comes right here. The whole point of this discussion just now was to make accomplishment, right? So accomplishment is what we need. We have to accomplish something. That's what I was saying in the last 15 minutes with these cards. And the card are telling us, yes, you need accomplishment, charity, don't be disillusioned, hell is not good. Number 19 showing the sun, meaning, joining the government and people together as a sunlight and a sun. Sun is one, right? Not two suns, one sun. So seclusion is not good. Alliances is wonderful. See, looking in the wand, is looking in to himself. It's like service giving by the government, looking into self. It's like giving the citizen is one, not two different things. See, looking back to himself upside down. So it's the same black mirror I talked about. It's all one. We are all connected. And having accomplishment, 9 of Pentacles. So number 9 is very powerful too. And I think 9 can bring in the communication and can create accomplishments. So it's giving us warnings what not to do and what to do. So that's fine. So I think we today covered almost all the world topics today. I mean, after these shows, few shows. So that was nice. It covered a lot of things on people's mind. But it's no point talking about stuff if there are no answers, right? That's what I'm saying. So we do need answers. This deck of cards are amazing. We're going to put them right here, respectfully. And we'll keep coming back at them once in a while. This one too. And I'll bring the Nefertiti cards too later and bring them here too. So we're going to join them all together. So next time we're going to talk about the numerology and all that stuff. And just to discuss about that quickly now, with the show ended, kind of, but we'll get into that next time. But numerology is going to be very interesting, simple, but then it gets into the complexity of emotions, vibrations, energies, and how the vibration of numbers can cause so much positivity and also negativity depending on the numbers, and how it affects us, how it changes our view, perception. Lots to in tune with, sync with. So till next time, everybody have a blessed day. Enjoy your day. Labor Day is coming and long weekend. And hope you enjoyed the show. Subscribe to the channel. Tell everybody the good news that we are sharing these messages through me and my tarot cards here. I mean the tarot cards, through my book, all this information and knowledge. Let everybody be aware, have the awareness. Donate to the show, support the show, buy the book, and after the numerology show, then we'll start to get into the book. Then we'll get so super deep. So everybody have a blessed day. And thank you for watching Loop Diamond Show. Good night.